I'm Christine Dean, and this is live from Studio A, and very happy to welcome back to our studios our friends Sugar on the Roof. Hello, welcome. Oh, let me turn up your mic. There we go. Let's try that again.
Hello.
Hello.
And so since the last time I saw you, you have expanded. So original Sugar on the Roof members Clancy Ward, Jefferson Reynolds, and Megan Orwig Reynolds are here. And you've added someone to the band. Who wants to do the honors and introduce Jen?
Miss Jennifer Crusoe. On the bass.
Well, and you're in, Clancy, you're in a different band with Jen, right?
Yep.
Fieldbirds, I believe? Or is there now yet another one?
Fieldbirds is kind of like taking a little bit of a break right now. And so we just kind of decided to start another band with Nate Heinem, because we're not in enough bands.
I thought I saw that. It was kind of like still a trio, but it was you'd replaced somebody. Okay.
Yeah. So Junkyard Mule is the name of that band, and
right.
Nate who plays mandolin in Black River Review, he's been writing some songs, and so we have like probably a dozen songs he's written.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you're playing tonight, as we just heard Caitlin say in the sound check. We are playing tonight at Superior Tavern at 7 o'clock for the Homegrown Winter Fiasco. And then you have a brand new album out. It's self-titled, and you have a release show for that at Northern Water Smokehouse on January 29th, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
And, well, why don't we have you start with a song, and then we'll come back and chat, and we'll talk about the album and whatever else you want to talk about.
Okay.
Great.
Sugar on the Roof live from Studio A, and a tune that is included on their new debut, well, not debut, it's self-titled is what I meant to say. You've had previous albums, but this one's self-titled.
We ramp up to it.
And this one, I noticed, is on Philville Records. Is that the first time that you've worked with them?
We did a single
Okay.
with him last year, and we recorded 2 songs for that, and
Which are on the album.
which are on the album. So this is a single. We recorded a single, and it's Sister Kate and
Walking After
Walking
Midnight.
After Midnight, and it's a lathe cut single, and so they were kind of pricey to make. So we decided to put a whole bunch of put those 2 songs on the album too.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Then you can buy the CD and get the album, for the low price of $30.
Right.
That's pretty cool, though, especially, because you're kind of a band with kind of a retro sound. And so to have a vinyl 45, I think, is pretty fun.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and the vinyl 45 really does sound like it was made in the 1940s. Because
Really?
the machine that those records were cut on is a vintage machine. They're like individually cut. It's a really cool sound.
So how did you get connected with them? In mono.
Yes.
Nice touch. So how did you get connected with them? How did that end up happening?
It's a connection that Matt Sales has, who runs Philville Records, and he just recommended it, and we thought it was a good idea.
Okay, nice. And where are they? Are they in Eau Claire? I saw you had done like a showcase for them in the
Yep.
past year. That must have been fun.
Yep, it was good. Yeah, you get to play a show with a bunch of label mates.
Yeah, it was like a dozen folks that a dozen different musicians and bands that we hadn't played with before, and it was super fun to like get a sense of what the label is creating and kind of how everybody's working together on this piece. Really cool community of musicians.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's as some of your previous stuff, there are some songs that people might be familiar with, like that one, and also some originals, right? So tell me about the originals on this album.
The originals actually were the only ones we single-tracked. So Matt is a big fan of, he has a room, and he puts one microphone in the room, and everybody does one thing at a time. So you're recording one part of the song at a time. So like Megan lays down at a scratch track on the guitar, and then there's the official guitar track, and then there's Megan's vocals, and then there's my vocals, and then there's Jefferson's everything one at a time. So we did those 2 like that, and it was really fun because to see them develop in a new way, you get to try things out that you wouldn't normally do for a song, play different things.
Right. For instance, so there are 2 waltzes are the 2 originals on that album, and one of the waltzes has a banjo track as well as a trombone track, which is generally not something we do live.
Because Jeff only has 2 hands.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Although I'd love to see us work up
somebody
that
else
act.
could operate the slide while I buzz and play
Yes.
clawhammer at the same time.
It could be a 5-piece anytime. You
Sure.
you need a trombone assistant.
So, and Walking After Midnight is on here. And a year ago, Megan, you were getting ready to portray Patsy Cline. Wow. How
Yeah.
amazing was that?
It was really incredible. Obviously, I knew her music and enjoyed her music, but to get to do a deep dive on her, I was in a production of a play that's a 2-woman play. It was actually done here in Duluth a couple of years ago, called Always Patsy Cline, and I learned about 30 of her songs and sang all of them over the course of an evening. And I had never done a show in which I was really not just doing a tribute to someone, but really trying to impersonate her style of singing. And it really gave me a deep appreciation for her musicianship and style of singing and the way that she approached songs and crafted them. So
Yeah, I was going to say, like, when you're familiar with somebody for so long, but you haven't really listened, what did you take away from that after becoming more intimate with her music?
she was a virtuosic singer, which is particularly astonishing because she was completely untrained in music, that she invented the way she sang those songs. She had so many influences. She was listening to pop music, she was listening to blues, she was listening to old time, she was listening to country. And although she regarded herself as a country singer, you can hear Nina Simone and jazz and blues, all of these amazing vocalists in her singing. And the things that she was doing vocally are hard to do as someone who attempted them. So it just gave me this really deep respect for her virtuosity as a singer.
I don't know if we've ever talked about your background as a singer. I think that you've mentioned in passing once that that's the first thing that you did, right, as a musician?
I mean, as a little 3-year-old on the
Okay.
step stool in Grandma's living room at Christmas time, forcing everyone to listen to Jingle Bells for the 15th time. Yes, that was me, 100%.
But you do have such a powerful voice and very, I think it would be perfect to portray Patsy Cline. I'm sorry that I missed it. That was
all
up
good.
on the range, right?
It
Well, you
was,
said
yeah,
it was
a
in
couple
Duluth, too.
places on the range.
Yeah, nice. Well, that must have been a really fun experience. And, when you think about it, some of her influences are probably the same as your influences. She just was a little bit closer to them.
That's right. Yes, she probably knew them in person.
Yeah.
She got to shake their hands sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hear another tune. What else do you want to do from the album?
Want to do the waltz?
Sure, we could do the waltz, yeah. Salty.
Or do you want to do the other one?
Let's do the waltz.
Okay. Okay, this is that waltz we were talking about earlier. I'm going away to leave you, love, over the great saltless sea. Silver Bay to Whiskey Eye, over the great saltless sea. Your boats call when the nights still freeze. The sugar runs in the maple trees, and your dark hair on the April breeze, over the great saltless sea. Over the great saltless sea. Over the great saltless sea. I'm going away to leave you, love, over the great saltless sea. I'm sailing home to you, my love, over the great saltless sea. Ship pulls into old Duluth town, over the great saltless sea. Wind and sleet and ice and snow, the last lone Laker to come back home, and your lips are the sweetest I've known, over the great saltless sea. Over the great saltless sea. Over the great saltless sea. I'm going away to leave you, love, over the great saltless sea. I've sailed my days and dreamt my nights over the great saltless sea. Countless hours of a sailor's life over the great saltless sea. One more breath before I die, one last kiss, one last goodbye, and one last look in your brown eyes, and go back to the great saltless sea.
That's Sugar on the Roof live from Studio A, and one from their new album, their new self-titled album. And Megan, you wrote that one, right?
I did.
And it's lovely, and there's a story behind it. What inspired that?
In 2021, something like that. It was cold in December, and my husband and my daughters and I went up the North Shore we needed to get out of the house, and there was no snow on the ground, and we traveled all the way up to Grand Portage and walked around and looked at Canada from afar, and I saw a sign in Grand Portage sort of next to the lake that was talking about the lake, and I saw that phrase, the Great Saltless Sea, and as someone who is not from here, I'd never heard that before, and struck me as a really beautiful phrase. So I gave myself the homework assignment of writing a Carter-style ballad about a taconite runner who left his love in Duluth Harbor every season to go run taconite and then would return to her at the end of the season. So that's the story of that song.
And how did that, did it come quickly? Was it a challenge? How did it go?
Oh, that one came pretty quickly. If I have a task as a songwriter, it helps me a lot. Yeah, a prompt, a homework assignment. So once I have given myself the assignment, then I can execute. It's really finding the hook of the thing.
Have you ever done one of those groups where, people get a new prompt every month or week or whatever?
I'm open. If anyone, reach out, DM me.
And we were talking a little bit beforehand about, you were kind of rethinking your creative process, and we promised that we would bring that up. So,
Clancy, do you want to opinion my self-criticism?
Oh, you mean regarding the interview you had this morning?
Yes. Yes, I was saying I had difficulty as that songwriting has not always come easily for me.
Right, but we were also just talking about how everybody has a sort of different process of writing songs, and no process is wrong. It's just everybody approaches it differently. So
Totally.
that was all.
What I was going to share is that I'm also a theater director, and I have recently really come to accept that my directing process is totally different than any other directing process I've ever experienced. And for a long time I thought I wasn't good at it because I didn't do the way Harold Klerman told me to do it in the book On Directing. But it turns out there's no rules about how you make things, and
especially in high school theater.
so I think it's a good awareness to have of that's one of the things that can limit us as creative people, that we feel like our process should be a certain way, and really there are no rules in this era of so much information.
Yeah.
To just remember that those are merely suggestions, not the rules of how to do things. Yeah. And everybody's process is valid when it makes work that's important to you. So.
Yeah.
Well, and I love the fact that even though it is something that challenges you, you still do it. I think that's the thing. I think sometimes people give up if they don't think they're good at something right away, or that it's not easy, but you just keep doing it. And I think that's the thing sometimes.
And not everything's going to hit, right? Sometimes you write something and you're like, no, noopers, keep that one in the drawer.
So Jen is new to the band, and she's kind of far away from the mic, so
We're gonna fix
either
that.
she can talk or you can talk about her. How did so I don't think Jen was in the band when you recorded this album.
No.
So how did you decide, hey, we need a bass player, let's bring Jen in, or was it, we need Jen, let's have her play bass? Which, because she'd be great in any band.
I don't remember how it was.
There were a couple of gigs I couldn't make it to in August.
Oh, that's what it was.
And they said, well, Jen can fill in on bass. And we like her, so we kept asking her back.
It was
So.
secretly a trial run, I believe. And then a formal invitation followed.
You passed the audition, the
Apparently,
secret
yeah.
audition.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently.
Well, it's lovely to see you playing out more, Jen, and
It's been great.
it's
Really.
been fun to see you do a lot more stuff in the last few years, and this is great.
Yeah.
So what's the other original that's on the album?
A Better You.
Okay,
You want to talk about that one?
is that yours? Is that was that you, Clancy, or was that Megan?
Well, there's a
Who wrote
couple
that one?
songs that Megan and I have written together that involve me writing a line or a hook. I love a good hook. And
Full of them.
And then Megan starts writing songs, the song based on that hooked, which could be the prompt, So
Yeah,
anyway.
sometimes you give me the homework
Yeah, yeah.
assignment.
I give
Yeah,
you the
several
homework
songs have
assignment.
arrived that way.
Mhm.
But Better You, I felt like was a back and forth process. I sort of
Yeah.
wrote some lines, and then you took it for a while and wrote
Yeah.
some lines
Yeah.
and passed it back and forth.
Yeah, yeah. So that was like a really true collaboration,
Yeah.
I think.
Nice.
So yeah, it's good.
So you write it and then you bring it to the band and everybody works on the arrangements?
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. When it was just the three, I think it'll be more fun with a solid low end because we can bring stuff more fully. Whereas before, I think it was just like, yeah, Jeff, do your thing.
Yeah, having Jen, in addition to her important spirit that has entered the band consciousness, which is not to be underestimated, she is also now a partner for me rhythmically, and it frees Jefferson to not have to hold down bass lines
Yeah.
so that he can do all kinds of
Yeah.
other wonderful
Yeah.
atmospheric
Yeah.
things.
And join me in the atmosphere.
And how do you feel about that, Jefferson? Is that been fun for you?
No, it's been awesome. Clancy and I have started trading off a little bit more, and I kind of feel like I can do whatever I want instead of living more in the bass lines and then kind of jumping from there to soloing and then back. And I felt like both Megan and I were trying to do too much, and it makes it a lot easier having somebody consistent.
Mm-hmm.
There's
How do you feel about being the rock?
And so Jefferson, you play trombone,
I
as
play
we're hearing
trombone.
tonight, but you also play banjo.
I do. I don't have it with me
Yeah.
at the moment, but yes, also play banjo.
So those are the two things that you play in the band. Do you ever play anything else? Were you playing other things?
No, I was thinking about this actually earlier. I played electric guitar in high school by myself in my bedroom, reading, Soundgarden solos. But no, those two instruments are the ones that I play now. I do. I picked up clarinet for a little while just for kicks.
Now that would be
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it may make an appearance eventually, but I'm not quite there.
Okay. Well, I'll look forward to it if it ever happens, because I think that would sound fantastic. Well, we have time for one more. What do you want to wrap up with here?
We're gonna do Dimeback, which is an old, I wouldn't say these are traditional songs, but they were written in the 40s in the Western Swing era. So we got this from that.
Blue Ridge Playboys.
The Blue Ridge Playboys. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I want my dime back. Give me my change back. I want my dime back now. I want my 10 cents. Give me my money. I want my dime back now. Now I got a gal lives up the hill. Now I got a gal lives across the lake, shakes and shimmy like a rattlesnake. I got a gal lives up the hill. She won't do it, but her sister will. Ha! I want my dime back. Give me my change back. I want my dime back now. cents. Give me my money. I want my dime back now. Now 3 and 3 6 and 6 and 3's 9. You gave me some of yours and I'll give you some of mine. The mama and the baby, they're playing in the grass. And mama says, baby, you're playing too fast. I want my dime back. Give me my change back. I want my dime back now.
That is Sugar on the Roof live from Studio A, another one that is on their brand new album, self-titled Sugar on the Roof. And you put it out in December. There was a little bit of a delay. You're doing the actual release show on January 29th, right, at Northern Water Smokehouse, the Duluth one. So Megan and Jefferson, you live in Hibbing, right?
Correct.
So you do stuff on the range and you do stuff down here. So January 29th is the Duluth show at Northern Water Smokehouse. And then tonight you're playing for the Homegrown Winter Fiasco. So that's...
People can get copies there, too. I brought a few with me. So if they can't wait until
We don't want them to
Northern
wait.
Waters.
Buy it twice.
There you go.
so
then-
nice, you bought it twice.
And then tomorrow we're playing in Virginia tomorrow night for a dance.
A barn dance.
A barn
so
dance.
if anybody's got the itch, come on
and
over to
and
Virginia.
you still do that. I was going
Yeah.
back just through your schedule for the year on your social media, and first of all, I was impressed as people who have full-time jobs and you two have children, that are still at home, that you're able to do as many shows as you do, and that it's regular and you're doing it. That's pretty cool.
It's fun.
We found a way.
we like each other.
But you did a swing dance. You did a swing dance
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
We're gonna do another one actually.
with the Hot Club of Duluth. That's
yeah,
what it was. Yeah.
March 29th.
Nice.
Yeah.
March 29th.
I think it's the 29th. It's the
And we
sa-
had-
whatever that Saturday is.
We had easily over 30 dancers come to that dance, and it was probably the
They
first
filled the folk school.
live swing dancing to live music in Duluth has seen in quite a while. So
Nice.
it was real fun.
And that's your roots, because that's how you started, was through playing for dances. So it's fun that you're still doing that once in a while.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And again, that show tonight is at Superior Tavern. You're taking the stage at 7 o'clock as part of the Homegrown Winter Fiasco. Well, thank you so much, everybody.
Thanks,
It's,
Christine,
Thanks
for
for
making
having
this
us.
work.
it's been a pleasure. Today's Live from Studio A was produced by me, Christine Dean, with funding provided by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. To check out upcoming guests or to listen to previous sessions, go to thenorth1033.org and click on Live from Studio A under Music. This is Live from Studio A on the North 103.3. Thanks for listening.